What up, gamers? Spencer here, and welcome back to Frontline 2 Exilium. So yeah, let's continue the story over here. We'll see what happens to Lynn. I'm guessing she'll get captured. You know what I thought about it? I'm gonna guess that maybe Lynn is like captured by those guys and she's like forced to fight in a arena. You know, pretty much like the movie Gladiator. To me, it makes maybe sense like that, but here we go. On the outskirts of the Yellow Zone, Frostfall Squad follows the signal to its endpoint, but all they find is a patch of sandy dirt surrounded by an endless expanse of wasteland. Over here, over here! Lynn's signal is close by. This is where the trail ends. They must have jammed it starting from this point. Tololo, can you make any contact by radio? Connection failed. Lynn's communicator is probably not in range. Let me see. When was the last time Lynn's signal showed up? It was roughly 5 hours ago. Tololo looks around. There is nobody else here besides Frostfall Squad. A gust of wind blows and the trio's footsteps are instantly covered by the sand. Even our tracks from 5 minutes ago would be hard to find, let alone 5 hours. Cheetah, you're the one with all the clues now. Think carefully. Did you see anything noteworthy during the battle? If you're talking about noteworthy stuff, what are you looking at me for? If not for this genius's heroic intervention, you'd be in even bigger trouble now, right? If you hadn't started chucking smoke bombs around all of a sudden, I could have gotten the ID card back. Couldn't think of it. Those Varugers were acting really weird. They'd already gotten the polyalloy card, so why would they need to pursue us so hard? What? So this wasn't just a robbery, but a deliberate doll kidnapping. Also, there were tons of Varugers, and they blocked off all the escape routes we planned beforehand. How many of them were there? About 6 or 7 squads worth, at the very least. That is strange. The Varugers usually think of underground brokers as easy targets due to the difference in fighting strength, so both sides tend to think poorly of each other. While there are some less moral brokers who slum it with the Varugers, an operation like this is far beyond the ability of a single broker to control. In other words, it's not so much that the broker was in league with the Varugers, but there was someone with troops of their own running the whole show from behind the scenes. Chongju ponders the issue. Was there anything special about these Varugers? Something special? Let me think. I've got it. They were wearing badges with something that looked like a dagger on them. It was like... just like... Vroom vroom. Leader, picking up an unknown signal nearby, approaching us from the south. The roar of the engine precedes the sight of a great jeep cresting a sand dune. Thick black smoke spews from behind it as the noise shatters the peaceful silence of the desert. Just like that insignia on that jeep. They were the ones chasing me and Lynn last night. Upon realizing that Lynn might be on that vehicle, Frostfall Squad subconsciously tightens their grips on her gun. Frostfall Squad, prepare for battle. Intercept that vehicle. Okay. Let's go in combat start. We're trying to go for Lynn, and Lynn is here in this battle here. Wait, let me check really quick with the audio. Yeah, the game might be a bit muted. I think I did try to mess up with my headset here, just making sure that everything's okay still. Yeah, okay. Oh, that was a fast battle. Okay. Oh, dang it. They got the jump on us. As bullets hit their tires, the Varugers realize that something's off and frantically pull hard on the steering wheel. Retreat! Retreat! Think you can run? Not so fast. Bearing 035 degrees. Ready to fire. Frostfall Squad seizes the moment and opens fire as one. With a loud crash, the jeep finally gives up the ghost, skidding for a distance before overturning. Leader, we've intercepted the vehicle. I'm heading in to search it. Leader, I didn't find Lynn on the vehicle, but I found that broker from yesterday who dealt with us. Cheetah drags the trussed-up broker from the crashed jeep and dumps him on underground like a sack of potatoes. The impact knocks his gas mask off, revealing the grimace on his face. Dolls? Is that so surprising? You should have seen a lot of dolls recently. For instance, the one who tried to sell you that polyalloy card last night. What did you do with her? Chongju presses her gun against the broker's head. The broker laughs in an infuriating way, as if Chongju's anger means nothing to him. So that's how risky this deal turned out to be. If I'd known, I would have asked that guy for more. Don't change the subject. Chongju jabs his temple with her gun for emphasis, and the pain makes the broker wince. I'll ask you one more time. What did you do to Lind? And who is that guy? Okay, fine. According to the code of the brokers, I shouldn't be telling you who hired me. However, I think exceptions can be made for when your life is at risk. The broker stretches out his right hand and draws a number in the air. He called himself Holtz. He showed me a picture of the doll to bring in and made me an offer I couldn't refuse. As for whether it was a fake name or what he wanted for the doll for, beats me. It's way above my pay grade, so to say. Holtz. Chongju is visibly surprised to hear that name. Leader, what's wrong? If I'm not wrong, the client from yesterday's commission at that mansion was also called Holtz. And according to the client information he submitted, this Mr. Holtz ought to be the young master of the toy company. Wait, seriously? What would some little prince from a toy company even want with Lind? I'm not sure, but I am sure that Miss Hellian's information is correct. Where did you hand her over? It was due south from here, at the port of the edge of the Yellow Zone. Miss Doll, if you ask me, we can talk terms here and make a mutual profitable X. Bam! Chongju decides that there's nothing more that she can learn from him, and cuts off his blather with a gun butt to the back of his head. Cheetah knocks out the rest of the Voyager's mooks as well. Leader, since we know where Lind is, we should head out right away. Tololo emerges from the jeep, waving to Chongju with the ID card in hand. Search complete. I've recovered the polyalloy card. Yes, Lind might be in danger, so we should move quickly. Frostfall squad, head toward the ports at maximum speed. Alright. See, that was the first one. So yeah, I plan to do it around what? Date information change? Oh yeah. Yeah, we had that daylight savings stuff going on, right? It should be a new day. Yeah, I am recording this in the for me, in the middle of the night. Oh shoot, I can do my daily so early now. I'm just used to doing it an hour later. After this video, I was planning to do my dailies, but I can do it now apparently. But no, I'll do it after I record this video here. Anyways. Yeah, very, very interesting. That's a new thing. Well, it's not new, it's just now I gotta go back to I guess doing my if I'm awake at this time, doing it at 4 AM for me. The veil of night settles over the quiet port. Rustic crane stand information by the waterline, a testament to its past glory. Currently, most of the street lamps by the shore are damaged, blinking on and off intermittently. Frostwall squad huddles in a dark corner of the port, studying a massive cruise liner moored to a pier. This luxury vessel stands in stark contrast to the dilapidated port. Its hull and surroundings are illuminated like daytime by high-power searchlights. More people are boarding. Tololo studies the gangway intently through the binoculars she's holding. This will be the 11th group tonight. Security guards in black uniforms stand on the gangway. They step forward and halt the two people who are approaching them. One of them, a well-dressed gentleman, takes a card out from his pocket and hands it to the guards. After verifying the guest's identity, the guard returns it to him with both hands and executes a picture-perfect 45-degree bow before gesturing to the guest and his accompanying doll to board the vessel. Most of the guests are accompanied by dolls. I surmise that after this Holtz kidnapped Lind, he might have brought her aboard as his companion doll. Given the way they're dressed, I'd say there's some kind of party in there. But then why would they need so many dolls for a party? It's just weird. Oh, wait a minute. Are they trying to collect dolls to have them fight in a arena? That would be kind of crazy. What if like that's how like the commander like meets up with these guys? Like maybe one of their dolls could be like in a like they're like purposely being kidnapped themselves so that they can maybe try to take down this guy, like this underground arena type thing maybe. Also, our current location could be considered the border between the green zone and the yellow zone. So why would those rich people from the white zone come all this way to join an ordinary party here? Tololo, why are you looking at me? I was just surprised. It turns out you can say something useful at times, Cheetah. So you're taking shots at me now that Linda's gone, Tololo. Seeing that Cheetah is about to flip out, Chongju strategically clears her throat to get the conversation back on track. We'll probably only learn the answer to those questions after we go in there. Cheetah, do you have any items that could help sneak us aboard the cruise ship? Of course I do. I recommend using this genius's tactical grappling claw. A gentle throw sends it onto the deck, whereupon it latches on tight, and then you can swing over with a whoosh. Chongju looks around at the searchlights around the cruise liner and shakes her head in resignation. Anything else? How about this imitation dolphin? We could hide under it and swim over to the liner, then wait till they're not looking up before climbing aboard. Cheetah, the plan is to sneak in, not draw the attention of the people on the ship. I knew it. I was clearly imagining things when I thought Cheetah could be useful. Hey, I heard that, Tololo. Fine then, why don't you come up with a solution of your own? If stealth isn't an option, let's just walk right in. What? It looks like this cruise liner is for members only. While the perimeter security is very tight, the security procedures for boarding are fairly simple. All guests have to do is show their ID. And this is what they were showing to the guards. Tololo takes out the polyalloy card she recovered from the broker and puts it in Chongju's hands. So we'll be posing as guests, then. Yep, based on what we just saw now, it's not unusual for guests to board in the company of a doll. So we should be able to get 2 people in there. As for whether there will be further security measures after we get in, that remains to be seen. This is the only plan they have, which seems even the slightest bit workable, and every moment wasted only increases the chances of Lin meeting with danger. Chongju comes to a conclusion. That's fine. We'll leave one person outside to respond to any changes in the situation and minimize the risk of failing the mission. Okay, so based on that, the art of this, of this place, of this event, I mean, we saw Chongju and Cheetah like in the audience, right? And I'm gonna guess that Tololo will stay outside. I'll disguise myself as a guest. As for Tololo and Cheetah, Chongju glances at Cheetah, whose face full of anticipation, and imagines what might happen if Cheetah is allowed to roam free of her own. Scenes of the ports being leveled by explosions and other kinds of devastation all fill her mind. I think I'll bring Cheetah in with me. Tololo, stay outside and help analyze the vessel structure. Make sure you maintain constant contact with Griffin HQ. Got it. Tololo nods and raises the binoculars again. Now the remaining issue is how to hide the glossiness of a doll's synthetic dermis. That's easy, leader. Just leave it to me. At last, it's time the invention for my genius invention, Skinwalker Spray to shine. Soon, Tololo is watching Chongju and Cheetah approaching the gangway through her binoculars. Greetings. Your identification, please. Chongju hands the guard the ID card with her left hand. Her right is behind her back, feeling for her dagger. The guard eyes Chongju warily. Is something wrong, madam? Are you not feeling well? Uh, I feel a little hot under those searchlights. Be quick about it, please. The guard sticks the card into the reader. There's a quiet beep, and the word success appears on the screen. We apologize for your discomfort, madam. Welcome aboard the MV Novalis, madam. We hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you. Chongju nods and collects the ID card. Then she gently drags Cheetah along into the depths of the cruise liner. Oh my. So fancy here. The liner's interior is decorated in a Baroque style, with crystal chandeliers hanging high overhead, filling the hall with brilliant illumination. Guests in fancy clothing hold flutes of champagne as they converse in small groups. The sound of laughter and clinking glasses fill the air. Chongju and Cheetah only draw a few side glances as they enter the hall. Those guests who notice them merely raise their glasses and salute before turning away to re-immerse themselves into the revelry. Wow, is this how the rich throw parties? Look at all this luxury. Leader, look, they decorated this wall with collapse pieces. Can we grab a few on our way out? I agree, but maybe no one will notice, they're like already rich enough, so. Lower your voice, Cheetah. There are many guests and security personnel here. We need to keep a low profile and avoid drawing unnecessary attention. A line of security robots roll between them in an orderly manner. They split up and slowly roll into the areas to the left and right. Chongju watches them as they head into the depths of the hall. The left contains the dining hall and shopping area, while the right has the bar and lounge. Which one are we going to check out first, leader? Time is night, so for efficiency's sake, I think we should split up. Cheetah, you go left and I'll go right. We'll meet back here in 10 minutes. Got it. See you later then. The bar that adjoins the casino is livelier than the main party hall. The guests gather in small groups, and the occasional laughs escape them. Some of the guests are red-faced with anger, loudly bemoaning their luck and lack thereof. Apple juice, please. Chongju takes a drink from a passing waiter's tray and leans on the bar, quietly listening to the conversation between the guests. Soon, her attention is drawn by a nearby commotion. Hey, barkeep, give me and my friend here a glass of, Lafitte or Lafitte? Chongju looks to the side. Two businessmen are walking in from the bar entrance, arm over shoulders, headed for the counter. Upon noticing what's going on, the people around them seem to be either afraid or in awe of their status, because they immediately clear a path for them and give the pair a wide berth. I haven't seen you here in so long. Where have you been recently? I had some business on my family's side, so I had to attend a whole bunch of gatherings and parties. It took a lot of doing to get free. Let me tell you that. Oh, but isn't that fun? About as fun as a hole in the head. They were all boring as heck. In the end, it's this place that suits me best. After all, there are some events that you can only find here. They're the only things that really get my blood going. The rich man taps the table with a knuckle and then points down. The two of them exchange knowing smiles. That's right, and that's not even getting into tonight's special event. It should be about time, right? The rich man looks at his watch. The gemstone set into the hands glisten with a crimson light. He laughs, then takes an exquisitely made metal box from his coat pocket, revealing a neat row of gold casino chips. Since we've got some time, why don't we go do something fun to whet our appetites? The card tables have been boring as heck during the past few weeks without you. It'd be my pleasure. A hint of excitement crosses the wealthy man's face. He nods, then snatches up his glass and drains it in one gulp. Then he adjusts his suit while the other man pats his shoulder. The two of them get up and head toward the casino. Before long, they're lost in a flow of humanity. Chongju places her empty, long-stemmed glass on the counter before nodding to the bartender and withdrawing to the main hall. At the same time, Cheetah returns from the dining hall. Leader, listen to me. I found two really weird things. Chongju nods, indicating that Cheetah should continue. Remember what Tololo said about seeing humans with doll partners at the port? But I didn't see any dolls in the main hall. Where did they go? Now that you mention it, I've only seen humans here too. See? If Lin were taken onto the ship by that guy, she would have been put somewhere out of sight with all those other dolls. Keeping track of the dolls' movements is definitely important. Well done, Cheetah. That was a very important clue. I've got more awesome stuff in store. Take a look at the pictures I managed to secretly take with my microcam. The picture shows a security robot's back access port. After magnification, they can clearly make out the serial number on it. GNL Beta. That's the model we saw at the mansion, on those robots Mr. Holtz ordered from the Gerard Group. Oh yeah, didn't Tololo say these models weren't being marketed as the Gerard Group? Don't tell me. This entire ship is Gerard Group property. That's definitely possible. However, it's also possible that the Gerard Group merely lent technical assistance to the ship operators. Regardless of which case turns out to be true, the one thing that we know for sure is that this ship is firmly linked to the Gerard Group. Whoa. Okay. Suddenly, a long hum fills the air. It seems to be coming from overhead. What's going on? It's even louder, man. It's like SpongeBob's alarm clock. The humming gets louder, but the guests seem completely used to this and do not respond in any way. Just then, Chongju's communicator beeps. She picks up a call and hears Tololo's voice. Leader, the gangway guards just returned to the vessel, and the gangway's been closed up. It seems the ship is about to weigh anchor. No wonder we heard that strange noise. It must have been the vessel's air horn. I'll have Miss Hellion arrange for the vehicle support so I can continue supporting you at sea. I'm concerned that the situation might spiral out of control once the ship leaves port, so please be careful. Understood. As it turns out, I have some things I need you and Miss Hellion to investigate too. Chongju briefs Tololo on everything she's learned so far. So you want to look into the link between the Novalis, Mr. Holtz, and the Gerard Group? Yes, I've got it. Also, I have some input on the potential location of the dolls that I'd like to share with you. In the next moments, Chongju receives a quick sketch of the liner structure. Observations of the exterior suggest that the liner is divided into 3 main decks, marked 1F, 2F, and B1. Passengers can only board the vessel via one route. In other words, via the 1F deck, where you are now. Then what about 2F? What are they doing up there? Thermal scans indicate that 2F contains servers, so my guess is that it has a functional purpose similar to the server room, a command center, and other such facilities. However, I'm suspicious of B1 deck. The part that's below the waterline? Yes, there's a hidden passage on L1F which appears to lead to B1. It's very heavily guarded, and there's lots of worker traffic moving through it. Measurements of the cargo they're moving show that they are very similar in size to dolls. In other words, Lin's most likely to be in B1. Leader, since we know where the entrance is, why don't we hurry over right now? We'll take out the door guards and rush straight in. After studying the number of security robots patrolling the main hall, Chongju shakes her head. Tololo, are there any guests leaving through that entrance? No, only workers. But it's not just dolls. I don't see their owners either. That's where the problem lies. The fact that these guests can move through suggests that there must be a VIP route from 1F to B1. We just don't know where it is. Chongju's eyebrows narrow as she recalls what happened earlier in the bar. When that wealthy guest said this place, he put it down. And then the look of interest when they flash those gold casino chips. Looks like there's a big secret behind the bar. Cheetah, let's head over to the casino. It's very likely that the B1 entrance is hidden there. Alright. And now we got this here. Yeah, so I do assume that it's gonna be just an arena, like, underground. And Linda was taken there to compete into it. But yeah, I feel like in a way, like if they didn't show the arena stuff like in the live stream or talked about it, like I feel like maybe I wouldn't have guessed this, but yeah, we'll see if I got this correct. Oh, we're at Lynn's point of view now. The humming of fans, the beep of machinery, the rush of liquids through pipes. Surrounded by these sounds, Lynn slowly opens her eyes. Ah, dang it, my head hurts. The room before her is dark. The surrounding walls are covered in displays, whose flickering images radiate a ghostly blue light that dimly illuminates the interior. She's never seen this place before. Where am I? Ah, you're finally awake. How do you feel? Huh? Lynn shudders as she hears an unfamiliar voice speaking directly into her ear and reflexively reaches for her gun, only to find out that she is securely bound to the chair she's in. The chair slides along the ground for some distance, and the shrill sound of metal grinding against metal fills the air. The man laughs sadistically as he watches Lynn struggle. Well, who's this guy? No need to be so anxious. I'll give you your gun back later. Lynn looks to the side and sees a man in fancy clothes leaning against a control console, a mocking smile on his face. He has one hand in a pants pocket and holds a long stem glass in the other, blissfully savoring the fragrance of the wine within. The man slowly raises his hand and exhales a long, slow breath. Even the best wine only shows its true worth in the eyes of one who understands it. Similarly, even the most powerful doll can only show its true power when wielded by a capable master. If I were you, I'd feel honored to have been chosen by a professional like me. Cat got your tongue? Are you in such awe of my presence that you cannot muster up the ability to speak? No, it's just that you're trying so hard to be so cool, but all you're doing is being so cringe instead. Is this what passes for businessmen these days? Have you fallen so low that you've resorted to kidnapping dolls? You'll really do anything to make a quick buck, won't you? The corner of the man's mouth twitches visibly. He takes a deep breath and forces a smile to his face once again. It looks like I'll need to properly introduce myself. My name is Carl Holtz, a genius who made best-selling toys at the age of 6. Even a doll should have heard of my name when the magazines published it. Harl? Who's that? Not Harl, Carl. Nope, doesn't ring a bell. So, what does this have to do with abducting dolls? My father, Yakov Holtz, is the supervisor of the Gerard Group's robotics R&D department. You should understand what that means, right? Our family hasn't fallen off so far that we need to kidnap dolls to sell for money. So you're not a failure of a businessman. You're a failure of a Nepo baby then. If your aim was to bring me here so I would praise you, you picked the worst person imaginable for the job. Carl's mouth twitches even more intensely now. He takes 3 deep breaths before he speaks again. Let me say again, I am not going to sell you off, so stop calling me a failure. I simply want you to do me a favor, Miss Lind. Tonight, there's going to be an arena match in the depths of the cruise liner. I want you to help me win the match so I can make my point to my father. And make a point to my father. The confusion in Lynn's eyes grows, but Carl gets more and more excited. He begins a long spiel without bothering to ask Lynn if she wants to hear it. The cruise liner you're actually on is a cathedral of entertainment for those in our rarefied social class. In here, money, power, position, everything can be wagered. And the most exciting bets are placed on the arena match that you will soon participate in. I don't believe anyone can resist that temptation. What do you mean by arena match? Does it involve fighting? I mean, I imagine so. When I hear arena, I don't really think it's gonna be like non-violent. I don't think it'll be like that. I have no idea why people are so captivated by these primitive displays of violence. And I have even less idea where you're getting your confidence from, thinking that everything's going to come up roses just because you kidnapped a doll. You don't get it. A genius like me only makes a move after crafting a 100% foolproof plan. Since the arena match is a contest of strength, there is no question that tactical dolls have the advantage over civilian dolls. Unfortunately, most tactical dolls are employed by the military or government organizations, and I have no desire to antagonize the government. Neither do I possess the strength to face off against the military. Therefore, Carl's eyes gleam with madness as he slowly walks around to the rear of the chair and plants his hands on Lynn's shoulders. My best choice was a small PMC like yours with no funding or official backing, which won't make waves even if an incident occurs. These robots I stationed at the mansion were part of a test I arranged. Congratulations, Miss Lynn. Your combat performance has won my highest approval. Huh? A small PMC. Won your approval? Lynn has no idea where to start picking his words apart. You're an adult, right? Do you not even know how about Griffin and Kreuger? 10 years ago, Griffin was the premier PMC in the country, and you were still probably playing with literal dolls somewhere. And this plan of yours is so full of holes, it's more like a fishing net. 100% foolproof, my butt. For example, if I hadn't gone to sell off that card, wouldn't your plan have derailed right from the start? Ugh. But in the end, you went out and tried to sell it, right? That just proves my plan worked. Even if you hadn't taken the card, then I would have uncanceled my future commissions with Griffin and continued trying to lure you out. As long as I can get you away from Griffin, I'd have a chance to make my move. Carl begins to ramble to himself. The mania in his eyes gradually fades, replaced by gloominess. The Voyagers were useful for that at least. Offer enough, and they'll solve any kind of problem for you. Huh? If you hadn't mentioned the Gerard group just now, I probably have mistaken you for some stupid playboy. Do you actually think those Voyagers thugs can be trusted? Are you a very special person? How the heck did the Gerard group manage to produce a failure like you? Shut up. Carl's expression shifts, and he tightens his grip on Lynn's shoulders. The sudden pain forces Lynn to frown. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Stop calling me a failure. You're the same as all those people from the Gerard group. All you do is piss me off. Alright. Celia. I thank everyone here for taking time out of your busy schedules to take part in this charity gala. I'd like to use this opportunity to introduce my son, Carl. The toy he developed is the best seller on the market, and all the proceeds from the sales will be donated in full to our charity foundation. Come, Carl, say hello to all the nice people. Hello, everyone. That's interesting. I feel like they wouldn't make a dedicated model unless it's supposed to be like a generic model, you know, kind of like with Ada. Well, yeah, they made an actual like young like art for Carl. I thought it would be just like a blank screen, you know, like no art pretty much. I expected nothing less of Madame Holt's boy. He's clearly extraordinary even at the tender age of 6. I'm sure he'll be running a corporation of his own by the time he turns 26. How blessed you are, madam. But of course, it's only natural that Madame Holt's son should be a rare genius. Why didn't you say a few words, young Carl? We'd like to bask in your genius. Oh, Yakov here. Thank you all for coming to attend my wife's funeral. Oh. Well, that's already sad. To honor my wife's dying wishes, I will shoulder the legacy of the Holtz family and strive to restore its glory. My condolences, Mr. Yakov. It is truly a shame that your wife was taken from us in the prime of her life. I cannot imagine that the sorrow that you and your young Master Carl must be going through now. Father, I want to see Mother. Where is she? Is Mother not coming back? Silence, Carl. Stop whining like a little failure. My apologies. It seems we have shown you an unseemly side of ourselves. Why is the father? I guess the father doesn't care about him making toys. Maybe it's just not like impressive to him, I guess. Oh, here comes the failure of the Holtz family, still playing with toys at this age. The Holtz boy never really grew up, did he? Why don't you say a few words, Carl? Teach us how to be a exploit failure who doesn't even care about how pathetic he is. Jeez, he went from like being praised, but like because of the father and the mom dying, like just people hate him now. The experimental funds I give you were so you could develop mechanical products that will contribute to the Gerard Group, not to waste on playing house. I wasn't expecting you to make a decent copy of that doll, but are you saying that you can't even figure out the way to defeat it? Is that it? How did Celia give birth to a failure like you? Man. I am Carl Holtz, the heir to the Holtz family. It's one thing if father looks down on me, but for a mere doll to do the same, what right do you have to criticize me? The hands gripping Lynn's shoulders suddenly let go, and then a fist whistles through the air before slamming into the side of Lynn's head. The impact of the fist and her head hitting the back of the chair briefly dazes her. Lynn turns and looks Carl straight in his angry, bloodshot eyes. You mad, bro? So the heir to the Holtz family went to all this expense just to capture a mere doll. Doesn't seem very smart to me. No, yeah, she's fun. I like Lynn here. It's kind of funny. And besides, why exactly should I do what you tell me? I can control those berserk robots. I have access to the Gerard Group's latest technology. You've already seen those robots before. They were under my control. Soon, you will be too. Carl kicks the button on the back of Lynn's chair. The surface of the armrest and the back of the chair slides open, revealing a dense network of cables within. They coil and wrap around Lynn until she is tightly bound. Right after that, a powerful electric current pours into her frame. Ugh. Pain fills Lynn's neural cloud, and she can't help the grunt that escapes her. Carl slowly walks around Lynn until he stops in front of her. You're right. I didn't need to capture an ordinary PMC doll. After all, an ordinary doll wouldn't have given me such an amusing reaction. You, on the other hand, are a different story. After all, you're a ULSD test type with sensory feedback comparable to that of a human being's. Isn't that right, SIC-0112? Lynn hasn't heard the designations ULSD and CIC-012 in a long time. Her pupils suddenly contract as she hears them spoken once again. The experimentation regime she endured as a ULSD was a nightmare that constantly haunted her. She's never revealed that part of her past to anyone else apart from the commander. How did you? Lynn wants to ask where he learned that information from, but the agony in her frame keeps her from speaking. All she can do is watch as he takes out a remote control and sees him smile coldly as he presses the button on it. Just one quick thing I just realized now. I am gonna guess that this story is where we I guess have the Frostfall squad maybe meet the commander in a way, because I feel like everything like somehow like ends up with the commander like meeting the dolls here. I'm gonna guess that this story takes place before that whole like Springfield and Perry event, since Lind was there. And yeah, that's how like they met up and stuff. But that's how they get like Linda was able to go there. Streams of data and electrical currents slam into Lind. Her pain is amplified numberless times. Carl's body seems to distend away in an instant, only to pull back in front of her as through in slow motion. Junk data washes over Lynn like a flood, filling her neural cloud and assaulting her level 2 layer. The tearing pain of the force override process pours in every corner of her frame. Her visual module shut down amidst the pain, and her vision fills with a cold white light. Lynn struggles to see amidst the radiance, but all that greets her is an endless void. Countless elites appear out of the virtual nothingness, slowly creeping toward her. Things are looking very bad for her indeed. Dang it. The only good thing about all this is that she has her trusty Auto 12 in hand, and with it, her confidence returns to her. Lynn raises her gun. I cannot die. I will not die. Not here. Are we going to level 2 now? What? Okay, everything is like so weird right now. Okay, logging in. Why is everything like failing on me right now? Or like, changing up on me. So I gotta do this again. I'm gonna have to like, fast forward. Skip all. Here we go. Combat start. Alright. Yeah, that was weird to see. Yeah, so far the story is really interesting. Like even with that one story mission there, it is cool to learn more about Carl here. Like already I think he's a very interesting character in my opinion. Yeah, just from like one like story mission here, one stage or chapter. He's already like very interesting with his past and his like villain feel to him as well. Oh, that was it? Okay, so I believe we've already done 3, so I'm going to end it there. But yeah, next time we'll continue, and then yeah, we'll see where we go from there. So again, there you have it, guys. That is it for this video. Yeah, next time we'll continue and maybe see about this arena now. I feel like we gotta see this arena, and maybe somehow that's when I think the commander will come in. Maybe the commander is disguised as like one of the VIPs. I can definitely see that. And one of his dolls will be like in the arena as the combatant. But who would that be though? It's gotta be someone that likes fighting. I mean, Groza's always good. I can definitely see that one like sword girl, the bunny sword girl. I forgot her name. Krolik, yeah, I can maybe see Krolik. Who else is like? Oh, that one girl. I don't know if like she's on board there. The one with the axe or the hatchet. That red girl. I think it was Faye. I mean, to me, she looks like a warrior to me. So, or Zhao Hui would be good as well. What else? Would be good in like a arena type battle. I think that's it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't know anyone else that would be like good for that type of situation on the top of my head. Wait, yeah, maybe Squad 404 with like Klukai, yeah. Klukai could be it too. She's very capable. Okay. I think that's everyone that I can think of, so I feel like either, the ones that I mentioned. So yeah, you got Klukai, Faye, Krolik, and Groza. I feel like, at least one of them will be in the arena if they were to make an appearance. I don't know if that's for sure. But like I said, I feel like, all these event stories lead up to the commander just reuniting with the dolls being, featured in this update and events and all that stuff. Anyway, guys, yeah, I think for real now, I'm gonna go ahead and edit here. Yeah, I am excited to see this arena like play out. I want to see what that's like. So yeah, that'll be for now, guys. That's game.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good